Let's talk about something that happened to you in 1985. I mean, you were already on, well en route to becoming, one of the most famous musicians in the world. And you took time out, you and your wife, and you went to Ethiopia with World Vision, as I recall. Why did you go to Africa? What was your motivation? What happened to you when you were there?
Well, I was a part of the Live Aid. The first Live Aid was in 1985, and so Live Aid was organized to try and raise money to pay for food for people in Ethiopia and relief. So this really rang every bell inside my head, and as a result, myself and my very young wife went off to Ethiopia, and we worked there for a while in an orphanage, just under the wire, no cameras, just to try and figure out what was happening. This was a different kind of poverty. This was people of great dignity, reduced to begging for food. And Ethiopians are very royal people. I mean, they're extraordinary looking, and a striking group. And to see them with their heads shaved inside the camp or outside the camp, to see them queuing up to stay alive, was something I was never going to forget. Women carrying 3 children, older people had been left behind on the journey, and I asked the question that I'm sure so many people asked, which is, how could this be that in a world of plenty, people could be let starve to death? And of course, as you grow up, you think, well, that's just the way of the world. Well, yes, it is. That is the way of the world. But it is not the way the world has to be. And if that is the way of the world, we have to overthrow the way of the world.
Okay, so when you came back from that trip in 1985, how did that next era, let's say from 1985 to 1995, did that just stay dormant in you? Did it grow? How did it take manifestation in your life from that point forward?
Well, if I'm honest, and I'm trying to be, I probably try to put it out of my head. Yeah. I remember saying to Ali on the way back, we will never forget this. And I remember her looking to me and going, we will, because that's, to carry this with you is every day is it's too much. But we were both clear that at some point we would be called upon to revisit these questions that in truth were probably too big for our young minds. So around about the end of the middle of the 90s, about 98, I was ready to receive a phone call, which I did, from Jamie Drummond, who now runs Data. He explained to me that though Live Aid had raised $250 million or something like that, and for all our efforts, Africa was spending or returning in debt service payments to us in the West about $250 million a month. And I was completely confounded by this. I found it very difficult to accept. I said, they're paying us more than we're giving them. And so I started to study the economics of it. And I thought, this is nothing to do with charity. This is a justice issue. And I became involved in the Jubilee movement, which was a very important movement in the late 90s, the debt cancellation movement, based on a scriptural idea, redemption.